We're so happy to have the lovely Liz Gibbs from Cornwall Care with us today. A big hello, Liz. Thanks for joining us on Chaos TV this afternoon.
Hi, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Settled something for us. Before we get into these questions, right, it's big debate. Question for the nation. One utensil, you're only allowed to use one for the rest of your life. What do you choose?
Fork.
Oh, she's gone with the fork. She's gone with the fork, folks. I'm looking at the back office. I'll tell you something. Some of the people back here, some of the ones you've already talked to, are shaking their head. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. There's only one way to go, and that's a spork. A spork. It's got everything. Anyway.
Yeah, there is that, but you can use a fork as a knife if you use it correctly. So multi-use there.
Oh, that was Owen and Adam's argument, was that if you used a spork, you could sharpen the top of it and turn it into a knife.
I mean, that was
good.
We'll get into prison rules here. You know what? We should go back to the interview and actually have a serious discussion, really. But thank you very much for taking part. Much appreciated. So, Liz, could you tell us a little bit about what you do at Cornwall Care?
Yeah, so I'm the recruitment manager at Cornwall Care. So I oversee all recruitment for the company. Quite a big job. We've got nearly 1,600 staff now. So, and I've got a team of 5 people that do all the hard work with all the administration and applications.
1,600 people.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I mean, that's about the volume of. I'm not trying to do this as a plug, but that is about how many bikers we're going to have on this Sunday for the Martin Jennings run, and that fills up the car park across the road. The Waitrose car park. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Flippin' heck. I believe we've got a bit a slide here to have a look at. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. Could you have a little chat about us with us about this, please?
Yeah. I won't read it out, but we are apart from the NHS, we're the largest care provider in Cornwall, and we're a bit different because we're a charity. We run as a charity, so we're not for profit. We've got 16 care homes altogether across the county, and we also have community care and supportive lifestyles as well. So all types of care, whether they want care in their own homes or in one of our homes, we provide it.
Awesome, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, here at Chaos, we know how important care is for those that need it. What makes caring in Cornwall so different to the rest of the UK?
Well, we do have a larger number of care needs in Cornwall because a lot of people come here to retire or settle down in the later years, should we say. So we have a greater number of need out here, and it's very vastly spread. As we know, Cornwall's a big county. So, we go to all far reaches, people in very remote areas to provide the care that they need. We've also got limited hospital resources, so we do what we can to support the hospitals as well when people are ready to be discharged. We haven't got as much space down in Cornwall, but on the plus side, you couldn't have a more scenic route to work, especially the community carers who get to drive around during the day and visit people in their own homes. So it's fantastic place to be a carer. But there's huge numbers compared to the rest of the country.
I know it's not probably the thing to focus on here, but definitely couldn't agree more with you on the scenic routes you can take around here. Lots of different routes and ways of getting around traffic as well. I've learned that one being a Cornishman all my life.
Yeah, you've got to, yeah.
Oh, blimey, it's a nightmare sometimes. I'm sure you're all too aware there is a shortage of care workers in the county. We've obviously mentioned this and discussed this in great length today and other days. Why would you say this is happening now, Liz? And what can we do to help?
Well, I think there's a shortage all across the country, but Cornwall has been affected, a bit more than the rest of the country. I mean, the care staffing crisis is partly because of COVID. During COVID, care was an extremely difficult area to be working in. There was a huge amounts of sacrifices made by the carers where, some weren't even going home and seeing their families for a number of months while they looked after our residents. But, we found that has also given us some positive publicity as well, because people now are starting to realise how crucial carers are to the country, especially in Cornwall. We obviously, where COVID is concerned, we provide all of the testing, the training, the PPE and everything that's needed. But Cornwall in particular, I think the housing situation has played a part. We've had a number of people wanting to relocate down to Cornwall to join the care industry, but they've just not been able to find places to live, unfortunately. So they've not been able to move down here. So whereas we would usually benefit from people wanting to come and live in the county, it's been very difficult.
With housing as it is as well, which has got to have a knock-on effect, there's just nothing available for people. I mean, there's people now that are having their tenancies come up for renewal, not being able to renew them, but there's nowhere for them to go, and that's caused the housing crisis down here, which the council are trying to address. It knocks on everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does, because like I said, we've spoken to a number of people who really want to come and work for us, but they just can't find anywhere to live down here. But in respect to the second part of your question, really what you can do to help is just spread the word, really, that it is genuinely a fantastic career. It's a career for life. And, there's safety is our priority, and that will continue to be the case.
Well, as you can imagine, here at Chaos, it's something we talk about a lot between ourselves to other people, and obviously on Chaos TV and on Chaos Radio. Something you mentioned just now, actually, I can't agree with you more. It's definitely the way the pandemic's been. It's definitely altered how people view carers and understand care roles, because there was obviously the stereotype, which I'm not going to go into, but we've learnt so very quickly as a group, as a nation, that there's so much more to the care sort of tree, if you want to call it. So many branches to it, not just one sort of stereotype that people don't seem to think about. So going on from this, what would you say to someone who's in Cornwall who is thinking of a career in care?
Well, simply put, do it. Working in social care, you genuinely make a difference to people's lives, and at the end of each day you go home knowing that you've made a difference to somebody who, without these carers, would, some people just don't see people from one day to the next, but knowing that you are that one person that's made a difference is so rewarding. And it's a tough job. I'm not going to lie and say it's all airy-fairy all the time, but I think that the rewards you get outweigh the challenges on a daily basis.
Absolutely perfectly said. To make such a difference to people and the community as well, because it's a knock-on effect as well. You make somebody happy, it makes someone else happy, and it slowly grows and grows. So other than obviously this, which we discussed, what other benefits would someone find in the care sector?
Well, I've worked in many sectors in my career, and I've never worked in a sector where there's such a fun team environment. I think the staff know they do a tough job, they do an emotionally challenging job, but they work together, and we have a lot of laughs along the way. Actually, there's a lot of fun to be had. I think you've got to. And also on the flip side of that, the residents and the people who use our services are just fascinating, incredible people. You'll get to meet them, you'll get to hear their stories, and more importantly, you'd get to make them or help them live their best life.
Absolutely perfect. I love that. Live their best life. That's I mean, so I think so many people forget or take for granted that people get to a certain age or even just a certain disability, and people almost have this attitude of writing people off. And it's like, they are alive. They are people like you and I. Everyone deserves to have a good quality of life. Could I ask about hours, things like flexibility, part-time hours? We had a friend who used to do long night shifts all the time. What kind of options are there in regards to that?
There's all options. I mean, we provide 24-hour care. So we have people who work just evenings. We have people who just work weekends. We have night carers. and we have part-time and full-time people. So, that we genuinely are completely flexible. We do contracts anything from 16 hours a week upwards. And, we talk about the needs of our clients as well as the needs of the people who are joining us. And we come to an agreement and we give a contract on that basis. So we're very flexible and very open for discussion on hours.
That's really nice as well, because a lot of jobs, caring in any kind of way can sometimes, I can imagine it gets a little bit hard for some people, and having that kind of flexibility, that availability of how you work and what you work, the hours you work, can only really be helpful for the mental health of people actually doing the care work as well. We obviously we can't care for others if we're not doing well ourselves. We
also have have an internal agency called FlexiCare that people come to us on 0-hour contracts, and they pick up whatever shifts they want to fit with their own needs at home. So that's another option with Cornwall Care, that you can join our agency and just pick up whatever shifts as and when you want to.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You've got a proper fluid sort of, full range, so no one can really have a worry about what the hours are. There's like something for everyone at every level. If we look more towards the training of things, maybe people looking for a career change, for example, maybe I get tired of this lot here and I want to go away. It's not happening, guys, honestly. But say that was to happen, how easy would it be for someone to retrain? How hard would it be to get into it?
No, it's really easy, because we work with Cornwall College in St Austell, and we've actually got a training academy based there. So anybody who's joining care and is new to care, we put them through full training in a classroom setting, as well as buddying up with experienced carers, and we can put people through their MVQs, or, for example, if somebody joined us and were particularly interested in learning more about dementia, we can arrange training courses for them, and it's all done in our training academy in St Austell.
Brilliant. And going on from this more towards sort of career progression, it's a big part of the job. I don't think a lot of people realise this or even can imagine it. Could you tell us a bit about your journey personally at Cornwall Care?
Yeah, well, I was one of those people that retrained, actually. I've worked in recruitment for 28 years, something like that now. And I've worked internationally in the rat race in the corporate world for years. And I just reached a point in my career when I wanted to give something back. Wanted to work for a care company. So I joined Cornwall Care working in the community. And then moved over, because I've done recruitment for so long, I moved over to the recruitment team. So it was great, because I got that experience of being a carer, so that when I'm recruiting them, I know I can hands-on explain what's involved on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely fantastic. Liz, you've been really wonderful. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to actually come and chat to us. It's really lovely to chat about this. Obviously, right now, big issues currently going across the country. It's nice to be able to try and work things out, and also give people some light into care, because I always knew care for a long time as just a very big stereotype. I don't want to say it because I don't want to force that out there. I'd rather it was seen for what it is. Let me add just one last thing. Where can people find Cornwall Care for more information?
So a couple of places. We've got our own website, www.cornwallcarecareers.org, or we have Facebook pages, Cornwall Care Careers, and all jobs are on there, and there's connections to find all the information you need about the company.
Fantastic stuff.
Thank you so much.
Liz, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for taking part in Question for the Nation 2. The guys won't be happy, but lovely.
Thank you. Good to meet you both. Thank you.
And you too. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
For more information about a career in care, get in touch with us here at Chaos TV as well. What a lovely lady.
Absolutely.
I love people who've got jobs that's like that in such a important role and such an emotional role, I can imagine, as well.
Yeah.
But they've got a good spirit to them, they've got a good positive attitude, and you need that.
It's something that Liz said when we were talking just then, was about how you never know when you're going to be that little bit of brightness in someone's day.
Absolutely.
And working retail for so long, and you get your little old dears in and people like that you see once a week, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. and you just know that day you might be the only person that said hi and smiled at them and like had a good conversation with them, and it's something that like really hits home.
That's something you always used to
being kind to people.
You did when you was in retail so well. You had the patience of a saint. You were always so lovely to everyone.
No, I wasn't lovely to everyone.
To the ones
I was
who
lovely
deserved
to
it.
people that deserved it. People were rude to me. I was rude straight back.
That's fair. Anyway, moving on. We're going to have some music and we're back with you after this. We'll look at revealing our Where in the World today. Stay tuned.